Patriotism is not telling us not to speak about William Ruto. But patriotism is not telling us that we should not put him in a coffin. But patriotism is not telling us that we should not depict him in those particular expressions. Patriotism is becoming defiant, is soldiering on and telling Mr. William Ruto that this country belongs to us all. We are not here by chance or by privilege. It is a right, and we are not going to live in this country as if we are being forced to live here. Oh, thank you very much, comrades, in the struggle. And thank you for believing that that this thing is doable. Tonight, the only thing that we're going to do is to encourage each other and also to propose remedies of what might follow and how we shall handle it. I want first of all confirm that our group of lawyers is ready to intervene for in whatsoever manner. Should there be arrests, should there be prosecutions, or guys being charged in court, we have our team of lawyers ready to intervene, both from LSK and even from our own quarters, like the Mount Kenya jurists. I want to say that Mr. William Ruto does not understand any other language. He understands the language of revolutionaries. He understands the language of radicalism. He understands the language that he does not speak himself. And therefore tomorrow we must all come out wherever we are, both physically and even online, to make sure that we wage war against Mr. William Ruto. What I have noticed is that Mr. William Ruto is so weak that he's not able to resist any charge that is directed towards him. I've been keeping on asking myself, what challenge or threat does a 20 years old child pose to the state? What is this so much threat that Mr. William Ruto faces from a 20 years old kid that you have to abduct them? It tells you that Mr. William Ruto has been weakened beyond measure, and that should we keep on pushing in and pushing him far, we are going to win this struggle. Yesterday, when you were at a place called Shamata, we had just gone for some Thanksgiving. It was a church affair, and you can see because of his weakness, he sent police goons to come and disrupt the processes by tear gassing us. The bishop was present, the clergy was present, the crowd was calm, but he cannot withstand the challenges of just mere people speaking. It tells you that William is so weak and should not be portrayed as a person who is able to resist this struggle. So we must keep on pressing and pressing to make sure that we push him to his limits. We cannot afford to abandon the struggle at this particular time. And we must make sure that we gather more than we scatter. Any person who shows interest in joining our struggle must be considered as an ally. Any person who is a sellout must be marked with an indelible ink to make sure that we do not incorporate him into our groups. So, comrades, I want to make an announcement that tomorrow we shall be on standby to make sure that we step in for our comrades. Mr. William Ruto does not understand any language about constitutionalism. He does not understand the language of the rule of law. Mr. William Ruto, being what he is, having grown from the streets, having grown from a goon to what he is today, he can only understand this language. He cannot be able to resist himself because he has not put in place structures that he can use to resist in a more diplomatic and civil manner. That is why abduction has become the language of the street for Mr. William Ruto. Because he has been a goon, he has goonzim characters, and he has practiced these since 1992. For any person to think that Mr. William Ruto can be any civil, you'll only be making a serious and grievous mistake. Mr. William Ruto can never be any civil because he has grown from this goonism. Remember, he was the leader of the YK92. And therefore, if he has this goonism, you cannot meet a goon with any language of diplomacy. We are going to meet him at his doorstep with a language that he understands, and the language of goonism. That is why we are saying, if you go for an eye, we come for an eye. If it's an eye for an eye principle. We cannot be able to speak to a person who cannot understand the language of civility. So, comrades, tomorrow, we are coming out in large numbers to make sure that we dramatize our dissatisfaction against this government, against Mr. William Ruto. And I agree with Mr. Muthiora that the enemy is one. We are all comrades. We only have one enemy, Mr. William Samoei Ruto. And the faster we are able to fix this enemy, in whatsoever manner necessary, the good it is and the better it is going to be for all of us. So we are calling upon Kenyans that we must make sure we do not repeat this mistake again. The mistake has cost us our nation. It has cost us our pride. It has cost us our economy. It has cost us our constitution. It has cost us our country. It has cost us our patriotism. Our marching and demonstration is the highest demonstration of patriotism. Any person who does not come out, either on social media or even physically, will be a person who is not ready to demonstrate the highest degree of patriotism. Defiance at this particular time, rebellion at this particular time, is the highest degree of patriotism. Any person who comes out tomorrow in whatsoever manner, even to assist the persons who will be on the streets, you'll be exhibiting and participating in the highest degree of patriotism. Patriotism is not telling us not to speak about William Ruto. But patriotism is not telling us that we should not put him in a coffin. Patriotism is not telling us that we should not depict him in those particular expressions. Patriotism is becoming defiant, is soldiering on and telling Mr. William Ruto that this country belongs to us all. We are not here by chance or by privilege. It is a right, and we are not going to live in this country as if we are being forced to live here. And therefore, tomorrow and the days to come is a day to demonstrate highest degree of patriotism. What they were doing previously, they were summoning MCAs, senators to the DCI. So what we agreed is, ukishika mmoja tunakuja sisi wote. And it has become very much unbearable for them. And you saw what we did in Nyandarua and what we did in Nyeri. When they arrested, when they summoned Senator Karongo Wadhangwa, Senator Methu, we all went there and we made it very uneasy for them. After that, we conducted serious rallies. They summoned another MCA in Nyandarua. We all went there, did a rally in Engineer, another in Olkarau, until the state has realized that they are giving us platforms. So if they arrest one, we must understand that we are all arrested. We must not forsake any comrade in the struggle. So when they arrest one of us, if it is taking him them to Milimani, we must all jump Milimani. If it is Makandara or in any other court in this country, we must jump those systems to make sure that we are there and our voice is heard. Comrades, allow me to land there and say I'm grateful for this particular chance to address you, and we are in the struggle. Viva, viva, viva.
Thank you, Advocate Ndegwa. Always, thank you, always.